Fear Review. I'm Uncle Bill.
And I'm Jenny. We have headed back to the hood in this episode. We actually traveled back to the hood already. We went to record this episode before and had a bit of a technical error. So we're back at it.
Literal error.
Literal
that
error.
we didn't notice until
we had fully done our review for Leprechaun Back to the Hood.
Yeah, I think
so.
20 minutes in, I think is what it was. There was no recording.
No recording of our 50 minutes we had talked about this movie.
Yeah.
So sorry, Leprechaun Back to the Hood. You're getting an even shorter review today.
This is besides Origin, which we have talked about at length in every single Leprechaun episode. This is my least favorite aside from that.
Mm-hmm.
Not that it's a bad movie, but after that, last night I was like, I don't have the energy to do another review that long. It's not good enough for me to do it thrice.
For us to talk about it for 50 minutes.
Yeah, another 50 minutes.
Yeah. So we're gonna cliff notes this movie.
We'll give it a good try.
We'll try it. Back to the Hood starts off though with one of my favorite pieces of lore that we get about the Leprechaun. We have a completely new backstory for him this time around. Yeah,
it is my favorite, I think, because, and maybe it's just because they kind of delve into the lore more than they have before. But if I remember correctly from our deleted episode, so basically back in medieval times, the kings, or a king has amassed all of this gold, and there's an uprising, and so he calls on the leprechauns to come guard his gold. And so they do that, and they kind of, I guess, take out the uprising, and then go back to fairyland or whatever.
I think the king dies, and then they're like, okay, over it.
Yeah, I can't remember if he dies or not. You might be right. But then, so they leave, but there's one leprechaun, one greedy little leprechaun that is the one that stays behind, and I guess just goes after the gold and like for himself. So yeah. It's a cool the way they do it at the beginning too, like the cartoon and like the visuals they use and stuff like that.
We see like the little fairy tale book opening, the pages turning.
Yeah.
Like you see like an old Disney movie or something. It's very fun.
But yeah, it's really cool, and I really like the backstory. And he's, and especially even a little cartoon, like he's a little darker in this movie. Like we talked about in the last episode, he was dark, but I think even as the way he looks is even darker this time around. Like his clothes are dark. They're not like a bright green kind of the way they were. They're more
new
subdued.
Outfit unlocked in this movie.
He's got a new fit. Like
he's got a whole new fit.
And it's like even his hat's like a more top hat kind of thing.
It's a different style.
Yeah, but
he had a wardrobe redo.
Yeah, his clothes are better, but the makeup not so much.
No, makeup's not as great. Movie's not as great, but his outfit is great. His outfit is fierce. No, it's a really cool piece of lore, because before we've had the little scenes of them looking stuff up on the computer. In the last movie we got Verge reading Leprechauns for Dummies, where they explain, there's just a lot of these little leprechauns that all love gold and they all guard it, whatever. And this go around, it's like, yeah, there's a bunch of leprechauns that are super chill, but this one's just a dick. He's
a motherfucker.
He's a jerk. Everybody, like all the other leprechauns, are at home raising families, and this one just,
they're at Chili's. They're just you know.
He's and here he is just running amok,
being
in the hood.
A douche.
Yeah. So after we get the cool piece of lore, which is probably the coolest part about this movie, we get our setup for the leprechaun and how he got to the hood, which isn't really much of a setup. They don't explain why he was there, but we see the leprechaun having this altercation with a priest, and the priest has like a vial of what looks like holy water, but it's clover water, and he banishes the leprechaun to hell, and he sinks into the ground right in front of this youth center that was being built. And fast forward a year later, we meet our ragtag group of friends for this film, including I just hit Chucky hanging off of my microphone. Poor guy. We meet Emily, our main girl, her friend Jamie, and her friends Jamie and Lisa, and man slut Rory.
Coming in on his bike.
Coming in on his bike, and they're all sitting there sad that this youth center isn't being built.
Which they're in some form of school. I don't like.
I don't know. They look 33.
Yeah, but they're in, I think, high school. I think is what they're
they're
trying to portray.
They're supposed to be seniors in high school. Portray. They're trying to betray.
I was like, their faces are betraying them.
Their faces are betraying the storyline, but we're going to go with it. So we see then that sets up sort of where the Leprechaun is at. We meet our little group of peeps, and immediately we see our girl Emily go with Lisa to go see the psychic. She's kind of down because they're kind of down in the dumps. They're really bothered by this youth center not being built, and nothing good happens for us, nothing good happens to this community. So they go to see a little psychic, get a future reading, and this lady very specifically lets Emily know that, girl, there's going to be a big fortune coming to you, but do not take it because it's going to come at a great price. The most direct a psychic has ever been in any film.
This is not a fortune cookie like, hey, something's going to happen at some point, sometime.
And it could be good, it could be bad, but it's up to interpretation.
Yeah, this is literally like, you're about to get some money, don't take it.
Don't take it. And it's full, like, it's not even, like, sketchy. It's full Ollivander's realness, like, wind going through, like, this woman is seeing things. It's legit.
You'll never guess what happens. What does she do, though?
But does Emily pay attention? No.
So, yeah, kind of let's smash cut forward to their, at a barbecue, things have happened. There's some drama between Rory and Emily. And
obviously exes. Rory's still trying to reach out, and Emily wants nothing to do with it.
Even though Rory has a girlfriend who's just terrible.
Just rude.
But naturally, Emily dances next to a rainbow, falls in a hole. I say a mine shaft underneath this. It's what it looks like.
It's a hidden mine shaft. What is it?
Underneath a youth center. They built it on a mine shaft.
It's like a playground.
Yeah.
Like, just dropped through, like a literal place for children to frolic, and she just dropped through the ground.
In the middle of a city.
City.
And that's where we find, I guess, where the leprechaun kind of got sucked down. There's a door, a small door that's covered with a bunch of, like I said, Jesus merch, as you would call it when we watched crosses and whatnot. And that's where they find
a
chest of gold,
or what you called it the other day, a box of gold.
A box of gold.
Of gold. Yeah, because at this point Emily falls down and then Rory follows her, and they sort of they figure out there's a box of gold down here, and they decide that they're going to share. And naturally, there is not a single moment in which Emily sits there and goes, I wonder if this might be the large amount of money that psychic told me about literally today.
And
a couple hours ago.
Does not connect the dots at all.
No.
Nope.
Takes it immediately. And then, as one would, these group of kids who are sitting there going, I wish someone would put the time and the effort into this community. If only they had put the money back into this youth center and made it happen. They acquire this large amount of money, and then they go get their nails done. Which, honestly, period, would be me.
Well, you could do both.
You could do both. You could get a mani-pedi,
but they didn't.
We see all four of the kids go on a shopping spree. Rory's buying a gun. He's buying clothes. He's buying stuff for his girlfriend. The girls are going and buying new outfits. And Jamie is buying garbage bags of weed.
Yeah, a contractor bag full of weed.
A crazy amount of weed.
Yeah. So
weed to kill a man.
Before this even happens, like as soon as they take the gold, obviously this is when Mr. Lep comes back to life. He is awakened, I believe, in slow-mo. I could be wrong.
I feel like it was like in reverse slow-mo.
Yeah, I
That's
think
cool.
he was like walking down the street eerily in slow-mo.
Yeah.
Which I feel like he does a lot of walking in this movie.
Yeah. He does a lot of walking, a lot of knocking on doors.
A lot of walking through doorways.
He does teleport a bit more in this one, though, because he doesn't teleport in the hood the first go-around.
There's like he apparates.
He apparates, leparates a little bit more this time. So the kids buy all this stuff, and naturally when you come across an enormous amount of weed, you're going to throw a party. So that's exactly what Jamie does.
And this introduces us to the Lep and a bong and getting just ripped.
So high. and I love it because the leprechaun rolls up to Jamie's house because obviously he's looking for his gold. And like walks in, sees this guy smoking, and is like, yeah, I do have shit to do, but I will take this side quest.
Yes.
I will sit in this room with this rando and get high first.
Just get high.
Sure.
Which, I mean, they were fine. Like, they were having a great time, but unfortunately for this man, he found a shilling.
He had come across one of Jamie's shillings, and then Leprechaun finds it.
Cannot stand for that.
So, you're gonna get stabbed with a bong.
Killed with a bong.
Killed by bong. Death by bong. It's what happens.
Evil bong crossover.
Evil bong. If that would have been crazy. If the leprechaun started swinging out of that bong and then the bong was evil bong.
That's
who voices
another
evil bong?
Lepception there. Like,
that would have been a little much.
I don't know who voices evil bong.
In my mind, I wanted to say it was Gary Busey, but that's Ginger Dead Man.
Yeah, that's Ginger Dead Man.
Anyways,
I just know it's not Cheech. Chong's in it. That's all
I know Chong is in it.
Yeah.
I don't remember anything else. Back to the hood.
So yeah, he dies. Then we have
Death
a cool
by bong.
moment where the leprechaun's super stoned, goes into the kitchen.
So
Jamie's
funny.
in there. Wait, Jamie.
Yeah, it's Jamie.
And this is the guy's name that I always think is wrong, and I say it right every time. He's stoned. Jamie's getting something to eat, making him a sandwich, something like that. So there's like Three Stooges moment where they're kind of like doing this choreographed goofy tango where the Lep is like stumbling around, banging into counters, and
headbutting the island.
Headbutting the island. Jamie's turning around as he goes by, getting stuff out of the fridge, coming back, and
it's great.
And then the Lep starts just eating stuff out of the fridge, throwing it. Kind of a fun little moment, and then he gets bumped into the fridge, locked in there, and
snacking around. It's very Three Stooges-esque. It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's very classic Leprechaun movies. It's very silly, which I do enjoy about this movie. Because Leprechaun in the Hood has jokes, but it's not that. It's not as lighthearted as this movie. This movie makes up for a lot of things with high Leprechaun.
Yeah, it's weird because I think you said before that like there's very different tones in the movie. Like it's either dark or it's like this silly,
or it's super fun.
Yeah, where it's like this kind of moment where it's just over the top, and then there's these other parts that we get into.
And they know what works for me because when they got the leprechaun drunk in part 2, check please. You get him high, done. I love it. I love to see the leprechaun inebriated. I think we should see more slashers inebriated.
Yeah, it should be.
It's funny.
Like it should be Leprechaun 9 in the pub.
I think that would be super on brand.
Yeah,
I think that'd be super fun. That would be cute. But so Leprechaun gets high, he gets stuck in the fridge, and the girls, Emily and Lisa, are also at this party because Emily's been there, and God bless her, even though she's like trying to get Rory out of her business. There's a whole moment at this party where she's trying to make him jealous with his girlfriend. It's a whole thing. They stumble across Bong Boy, who's dead in the room, and call the police. And we get to see Lisa and Jamie have a moment because he's been into her the whole movie.
Yeah.
But Lisa hasn't been feeling it. She gives him a little kiss while he's getting arrested.
And there's been like no lead up to that at
No.
all. Like she just apparently, oh, you're getting arrested now.
She likes a bad boy, obviously.
Yeah. Don't they all?
We all do. We're all a sucker for that. So they take poor Jamie away. And I think it's the next day we see Emily now. She's working at the salon. It's where she works. And I think it's her boss that's wanting a massage.
No, I think it's a regular customer. Her boss was like, because I think she has money now, so I think she was not wanting to rub on this lady, and she was like, look, I gave you, a chance when you had nothing, you can do this. So she kind of guilts her into it, but she runs out of. I said lube earlier, but
that's not lube.
Runs out of lotion.
That's not people do not use lube to give massages like that. Not a back massage, at least.
So she leaves the room. Now we have a leprechaun giving this lady a massage.
I love it. It's great. He's walking on her back
with his big toenails and hairy feet. Yeah.
Hobbit feet. He's karate chopping her shoulder blades, and she's into it.
Yeah, she's moaning and having fun.
He's doing a great job. She's moaning and having fun. He's doing great. 5-star review on Yelp. But he gets tired of it relatively quick and strangles her while he's in the back of the salon.
Classic lep move.
It's typical. It's an everyday lep occurrence. So he walks out because obviously his beef is with Emily. He came in looking for the gold, which he knows Emily has.
Just another side quest. He likes those.
He likes to broaden his horizons, learn a little something new every day. We could all take a lesson from the leprechaun. You need to stay focused on your goals, do what you have to do, but have a little fun as well.
Just,
be
pick
open.
It up a little bit.
Be open-minded to new opportunities that present themselves to you. Live, laugh, love, experience. So he rolls up, finds Emily, and we get our classic leprechaun eye removal. We get one every single movie.
Yep. He attacks her. She goes with the head buzzer right in the eye.
Pops that sucker right out.
I always think that he gets electrocuted when she does that, but
maybe
I don't think
she does.
so.
But I just remember eye off. It comes out with the razor.
Yeah.
And he takes that little eyeball, pops it right back in. He's good to go. Good to go. And then she calls the boys. They're not really buying it, but it's fine.
Classic scene. Mm-hmm. I've seen a leprechaun. No, you haven't. You're crazy. Blah,
You're
blah, blah.
nuts. Meanwhile, we're seeing Rory's girlfriend, who he's kind of been showering with gifts with the gold that he got. She's taken a shilling and she's gotten a gold tooth made.
A tooth.
And
I would even say the tooth.
It's it is. It's one of the front teeth. It's very odd placement, and it
Just
looks
one.
terrible.
Yeah.
And she's thrilled about it, and it's not cute.
No.
It's not giving anything. It's not.
She's not serving anything.
She's not serving anything. It's so funny to hear you say that. It's not serving. It's not serving anything. We see her get that gold tooth made, and meanwhile, the leprechaun has gotten busy going after Lisa now.
Good old Lisa, who's been a good friend.
Lisa's honestly been fun. I think she's my favorite character in this movie. She at least keeps stuff lighthearted.
And just like in the first Lep in the Hood, the bathroom is the sanctuary.
As soon as he rolls into her house, she runs to that bathroom.
He tries to bust through. She uses the old lighter and hairspray, burns him, but he apparates into the room, I believe.
Period.
And this is this is where we kind of get into where this one feels really a lot more brutal to me. The kills are, because I think he just strangles her in this one, but when he does, I think he just watches the light go out of her eyes when he does.
It's a much meaner kill. I feel like it seems personal.
The other one's the first one, there was a pogo stick kill.
Yeah, he hopped around on a pogo stick.
Yeah, this one's very personal, very
bare-hand strangle. Really?
Yeah, and just watch while he does it.
Seriously, he pointed his green finger at Loretta, and she expanded until the bitch popped.
Yep.
And this woman, he is full on strangling.
And no nice funny little rhyme when he does it.
Strangler. Yeah. Scranton Strangler.
Yep.
Immediately. It's crazy. So poor Lisa's, she's gone.
She gone.
We've lost Lisa. and the trio have regrouped. And I think I don't remember at what point he goes and gets Rory's girlfriend.
I think,
but
she
I think
is
it's
the
somewhere
next
around
one.
here.
Yeah, I think she's next.
I think so, because the gang meet back up together, and they're talking through what they've seen. Lisa's died. She saw this leprechaun, and they're planning on what to do with the gold, because I'm pretty sure Emily at this point is thinking about giving it back or taking it.
Yeah.
And they have the discovery, and this is new. This is a new piece of lore. This is does not at all line up with the Leprechaun movies we've seen before, with him sitting crisscross applesauce counting his 100 shillings exactly of gold in his pot.
And yeah, because they're either a pot or a cauldron in the other movies.
Yeah.
And now this is the first chest
our
that we've seen.
First box of gold.
Yeah, box of gold.
And they realize that every time they empty out the chest, it replenishes itself with more gold immediately.
Yep.
Fierce.
So now this is where they kind of, I think this is where they realize, like, there's nothing we can do. We've spent all this, like, even if, it is a leprechaun and he just wants to go, we can't give it back.
Yeah.
Like, there's nothing we can do.
Yeah, there's a lot of conflict here, because Rory's like, this is great. Can't you imagine what we can do with this? We've got unlimited money now. They're kind of going back and forth on what to do. Meanwhile, Rory's girlfriend is going through it.
She is definitely the worst kill, I think, in the movie.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So naturally, we all knew what it was setting up for. Whenever she got that tooth, we're like, yep.
Signed, sealed, delivered. We know what happens when you get a gold tooth in a Leprechaun movie.
We thought we knew what was going to happen. But so he does go for the tooth.
Mm-hmm.
But as he's leaving.
Which is a top tooth.
Top tooth. Yes, that's top front tooth. But as you see him go for the tooth, go for the kill, and then as he's leaving, it kind of cuts to him leaving, and he just drops her bottom jaw.
Her jawbone.
So he just like rips like her face apart, like
for no reason, because the tooth was not there.
No, and I'm pretty sure like part 2, like was the old
with the homeless man.
The homeless man, was it a top front tooth too? And he just goes in, pulls it off. Just takes that one and like lets him go.
He just yanks the one tooth out and throws it into his pot of gold.
I mean, I know this is like our theory is it's a different leprechaun, so it doesn't matter. But like, if not, like he just got bitter.
He's
like like, you know what? I've done this before. Like I'm not
over it. I've been in the ground for forever.
That homeless man like ratted me out, so I'm not gonna let that happen again.
Now he's pissed. He just walks out with her whole jawbone, drops it on in the doorway.
So again, just a lot more brutal.
This leprechaun is a brute.
Yeah.
Brute.
Yes, brute.
A brute. He's got some manpower to him, and he's not afraid to use it. Seriously. And then at this point, so we have this moment. Rory ends up driving off with the gold, and as he's left, the leprechaun comes and attacks Emily at her house. Poor thing. He's like sitting on her bed, which we saw in Leprechaun Returns.
They like to do.
But they like to go sit in your bed and wait for you to find them there. So weird.
Because they know you're going to be there eventually.
It's just irritating. It's like, I know you want to kill me, but you're going to go sit on my bed.
Yeah, they're
dirty my sheets.
Okay, they're either going to go back to their bed or the bathroom. One of those two they're going to go to. So
I just know that as a germaphobe, if I walked in to a bitch sitting up on my bed, up against my pillows, my silk satin pillowcase that doesn't hold too much bacteria and doesn't cause friction to my hair, I'd be pissed.
You would have sold the house immediately.
I'd have burnt the pillow. I'd been over it. Get your freaking shoes off my bed, you freak. Get your leprechaun boots off my duvet, you bitch. That's crazy. Disgusting. I mean, and it's fine. Emily gets away. She doesn't seem nearly as bothered about him being on her bed as I would have been.
Not nearly.
Well, she's probably just concerned about the fact that there's a leprechaun in her bedroom. Her priorities are elsewhere.
Which you would have noticed that it was a leprechaun like 5 minutes later. It would have just been someone's on my bed.
Just seen red immediately. Yeah. Killed him. So she gets out, and Leprechaun attacks her in the front yard, once again, kind of like a nod to, I think it's Leprechaun 1, drops down out of a tree onto her, which we love to see a leprechaun drop out of a tree.
Like a little Keebler elf out of the tree.
Keebler elf. I love it. I love when he pops up off of a little tree branch and falls onto her. And Rory swings through, knocks Leprechaun off of her, and picks Emily up.
Saves her, takes off. I believe they kind of get in a fight or something.
Yeah,
but
they
then,
pull over her because she slaps him. There's an emotional exchange because he left, and he's apparently trying, but I mean,
I don't think any of us ever saw the trying.
Like you found a new girlfriend. What have either of y'all been trying to do? Very confusing.
You've been trying to be a dick, because I think that's about.
Y'all have both been trying to be dumb, and you've done a damn good job.
You also dumb.
For real.
So I think this is where, then they take off and they get pulled over by the cops.
Yeah, they get pulled over.
Which turns into the Leprechaun Massacre.
Oh, it's great. Because I feel like they get pulled over. I can't remember. Doesn't matter. Cops show up. Lep shows up. Apparate's there, which we love to see him do. And he just starts ripping limbs off of these police officers. Like, not even, like, quick kill. Rips their limbs off. Meanwhile, Emily and Rory are in the backseat of this cop car. And
I'm pretty sure, like, he's getting to shoot to shit, too.
Oh,
like,
yeah. He's getting his ass handed to him, and he's unfazed.
Just ripping limb from limb, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not bothered.
And I think this is where, like, they're stuck in the back of the car. He goes to attack him, and I think she shoots him.
Yeah.
Maybe through the eye.
Yeah.
Like, hurts him somehow, so they get away.
They're able to get off and go pick up Jamie.
But then he gets in the cop car. We're pretty sure uses a dismembered
he gets
leg.
one of the legs from the cops and drives the car with it, which is amazing.
Because of course he can't reach the pedals. I mean,
hey, a girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And if you've got to pick up that dead cop's leg so you can drive that car to go get your money back,
Lep's got a lep.
Lep has got a lep. He's got to live. He's got to make a. He's got to make a living. He's got to make a living.
Got to get that gold.
You got to get that gold. That's literally all he's cared about. He is the one. That's his thing. So they go pick up Curly. They also pull over and have an argument. Like, they really like to go pick somebody up, then go pull over, have a scat about it, and then drive off again. They like have a little argument. The boys are playing the blame game. Everybody's pointing fingers. And Emily's like, guys, get your shit together. We're going to have to kill this guy. There is nothing we can do. He's crazy. Let's go talk to the psychic.
There's an actual leprechaun chasing us. Let's,
We just saw him rip limbs off of people.
Stop being stupid.
Yeah. Period.
So they go see the
psychic.
Psychic again.
Mm-hmm. She tells them a little bit more about the lore that we know about. Classic Leprechaun information. His two weaknesses in this film are his gold and 4-leaf clovers. So iron doesn't mean shit to this guy.
Doesn't care.
No concern. And then after that, Emily and Rory almost have a moment. They're kind of touching base with each other because he goes to check on her. She's feeling guilty because she knows she was warned about this. Now all these people are dying. If she had just listened to the psychic, and Lep shows up right before they can kiss and make up.
And is
cock blocked.
But when does the gang come back into it again?
Oh shoot, that's before this, isn't it?
Okay,
all right. They see the psychic, but right before this happened, when they picked up Jamie, the Lep showed up because there was this group of guys that we met in the very first scene of the film. We see that they kind of argue with Jamie because he owes them money for, I think, weed and so that he's bought. They have beef with Rory, so they show up to mess with Rory, and obviously Leprechaun's gonna show up too. If shit's going down, he's also there.
He's gonna be there.
He's also there.
He's gonna roll up.
Yeah. And it's cute because we have this moment where one of the guys, one of the four guys, is on the phone with his girlfriend when the Lep shows up. It's like still talking to her. I think she's like, when are you gonna be home? he's like, I'm just finishing up a job and I'll be there. And the Lev is irritated by this. Like, for some reason, it just annoys the crap out of him.
He's like, so rude.
Seriously, like, have a little respect. So he kills all those guys who've been messing with them, and then gets on the phone with the girlfriend, and I think talks to her for a little bit.
We do like a Lep on the phone moment.
I love Lep back on the phone.
Back on the
fun.
phone. That's the third one.
Back on the phone.
Yeah.
Back in the hood on the phone.
Back on the hood phone.
Back on the hood phone. And then we get wonderful, Jamie and Emily are able to get Rory, who had been kind of tossed around by those guys before Lep killed them. And they are able to run over the leprechaun and then do the car, like,
hit the switches
up and down.
Yeah, smash do a little
pancake him.
little pancake.
Little Lep cake under the car. It's cute, a little squished. And then they get to the psychic, and all of that stuff happens that we already talked about. And now Lep has shown up to them after they've seen the psychic, and
which we didn't. Which one thing we need to mention is one thing we found out when we were, like I said, like I was pulling the old man watching a movie. It was like, oh, I've seen this person before, so I'm immediately going to IMDb while we're watching the movie. But the psychic is actually her husband, I believe, was like best friends or like a partner with Martin Luther King.
Yeah,
and like so she was a part of that whole movement, and like I was like, holy crap, like geez, like she's in this movie.
She is a whole thing. She is the star of this film. She is the best part of this movie. She's the best actress. She's got the coolest look. She's coolest hands down already. And then you find out that she was connected to Martin Luther King. It's like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Are you shitting me?
And I know I was looking her up because I was like, she looks familiar. And I don't know if I ever
saw her.
But it was like, then I saw that and I just got,
You've seen her in history books.
Yep.
At the protest holding hands with Martin Luther King.
Yeah, that's what it was.
We knew it. And then she went to do Leprechaun Back to the Hood. Because that's what you do.
Naturally.
And that's what Marty would have wanted.
Marty.
I feel like they would have had a rapport where she could have given him a nickname.
Yeah.
They were close.
The Martster.
It was really, it's crazy because it's not even like, oh, he was a second cousin of an uncle of a friend. Like, they were closely related.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It's super cool.
She knew him.
Yeah, like it makes her even cooler.
Yeah.
So, psychic's everything. And in order to prep for the leprechaun because they knew once she told him about the 4-leaf clovers, Jamie went to his weed that he had bought from some guy earlier in the movie that had 4-leaf clovers in it. He starts picking out the 4-leaf clovers, and Rory puts the 4-leaf clovers into the tips of his bullets. And
they start like, is that all they do?
Yeah, that's all they do.
And again,
that's all I can remember.
This is me getting the first one and this one confused. I was thinking they rolled some joints, but no, that's
that's Leprechaun in the Hood.
Lep in the Hood, yeah.
They don't do that when they go back to the
just
hood.
Bullets this time around.
Just bullets this time around. So Lep's shown up, cock-blocked Emily and Rory, and we get another Lep shootout.
Another shootout. Now, he doesn't shoot at anybody, but I think he gets shot like 80 times with this one gun.
God,
I think
he gets shot a million times.
Cool kind of effect, though. Like when he gets shot, like you can see like it's hurting him, and like there's like the holes are kind of like green, and you can see like the life force coming out of him a little bit,
fading out and going out into the world.
But then like I guess like he has to reload, then like this stuff like starts coming back, and then he's like, oh no,
whatever,
I'm back, bitch.
Oh yeah, doesn't matter. It didn't stick. So he's like, shooting you doesn't matter, and Lep just punches the shit out of Emily, knocks her out, like knocks her on her ass.
Yep.
Immediately. And Jamie, of course, we love him to death. He rolls up with a baseball bat to her defense, smacks the Lep with it, who turns around once again unbothered, takes a shard of the bat and stabs Jamie in the leg, takes him out. So and now he's down for the count.
And then I think Jamie ultimately like kind of runs down to the boiler room.
It's not Jamie, because Jamie's been stabbed.
Not Jamie. Emily.
This is Emily. Well, because Emily gets back up, and this is when the psychic rolls out. So he knocks Jamie down, and the psychic shows up, and because she's a girl boss, she starts doing psychic powers, and it stalls the leprechaun enough to where Emily and Rory are able to run up to the roof.
Oh, that's right.
To just shoot him again.
Yeah.
Or just try to hit him a little bit more, which is ultimately doesn't work. So we get and Lep then knocks Rory out, gets Rory down, and then chases Emily down to
the boiler
furnace. Mm-hmm.
Which Freddy's not there. But
no, unfortunately.
No. So
Leprechaun versus Freddy.
I think she kind of tricks him, throws the gold in the furnace, the boiler, whatever, and then pushes him in there, locks him in there. We think this is the end.
Mm-hmm.
She goes up to the roof, gets with Rory. He's awake now, like he's back with it. And then the Lep shows back up, obviously. A little charred.
And he is well done.
Well done.
He is burnt to a crisp.
And get another shootout.
Another one.
But this time, they push him. Emily pushes him off the roof into quick drying cement.
Into completely wet cement that then dries like as soon as the leprechaun is in it and submerged.
Submerged, he's done.
And it doesn't even look like it looks too shallow for him to even be completely covered by the
shallow enough that it's like he must be swimming down.
Yeah, to like I don't know how he was covered by this cement, but so Leprechaun movie magic. He falls into that wet cement, is fully submerged, and then it dries in 45 seconds. Not even done. We get to see Rory and Emily, since we were all so worried about them. They're now living happily ever after and have no fear. Jamie was stabbed by that baseball bat shard, but he is alive and well. And now they've opened that youth center. Look at them.
Look at them. Happy ending.
Big fat green bow at the end.
Green bow.
Big fat green bow. It is unlike Leprechaun in the Hood, and where we do get a true classic Leprechaun ending where the Leprechaun loses. He is down for the count, and we see our little group of misfits.
It is a little more detailed ending than, say, 2 and 3, where we just see people walk off.
They just walk off, cut to black.
Done. They at least see, like, kind of wrap it up.
They do, and that's really sweet. I mean, they could have let Lisa live or kill Jamie off. Why does only one of the friends get hacked?
Yeah.
Like, poor thing.
Yeah, and I know he was kind of like the comedic relief, but, like, between the characters, you'd kind of think he would go before Lisa, because I feel like she was like kind of like the good friend.
Yeah, she was Emily's best friend, big moral support.
But maybe that's why they did it. Like, makes it feel a little more,
maybe
like we said, a little heavier, a little,
Maybe they thought we were gonna care. Sorry. Overall,
as if anyone cared about this
movie. It's a good Leprechaun movie, honestly. Like, it's a good 80s horror movie. It's not 80s. It's a good classic Leprechaun movie.
It's just not as good. Like, this one was, as soon as we started watching it, like, after watching the first In the Hood and then watching this one, like, it felt like a theatrical release and then an immediate, like, straight to VHS DVD release.
It would have been DVD. Was it even VHS in 2000? 2003 is when this movie came out.
Yeah, there's
which
DVD.
Makes it seem even worse.
Yeah.
It coming out in 2003 and me sitting here going, I mean, considering it's an 80s horror movie, it does not bode well for that film.
Yeah, no.
It's fine. It's not, when you come right after like such a heavy hitter like Leprechaun in the Hood then to this movie, it just, the acting's not as great. The story is not nearly as good as Lep in the Hood.
And the music is terrible.
Music is cheap.
Like, just cheesy music.
Yeah,
like,
it's just not as good.
It felt like, I don't know if you're going to know, like, Red Shoe Diaries, like, music. You're not going to know
Girl,
what that is.
who is she?
Like, hopefully somebody out there is going to know what that
Red
is.
Shoe Diary.
It's
Never
like
heard
these,
of
like,
her.
cheap, like, soft core, like those, like, sexy movies that would be, like, late night Skinamax movies kind of thing.
Skinamax.
Yeah.
Gag.
Like the
Okay, you. Okay, now I'm gonna hate it even more. Yeah, so it's not the best installment.
It's not one of those ones that it's like, if somebody wanted to watch it, I'm not gonna be like, I'm not watching that again.
Yeah.
But it's not one that I need to watch again, and like just
No.
Yeah.
But it's
not
all
as good
right.
as the others. So, we've been kind of doing this in the casa so far. So we're going to take it on the road next week, which is going to be it's going to be a thing. We're going to try this out, see if we can do it. But we are going to Texas Frightmare Weekend.
Texas Frightmare Weekend, the
next
event of the year
weekend.
for us.
Yeah, I started going in 2007.
The very first year, yeah.
No, second year.
Oh,
I
second
believe.
year.
Yeah. So
second
it was
year.
either 2007, 2008. I think it started in 2006. So I went the second year, but I've been going pretty regularly since then. But
you're an OG. I started going a few years ago. I think this will be my fourth Frightmare. I think
that's about
pretty sure
right.
my fourth Frightmare. So I'm super excited. It's my favorite part of the year. Almost like it. Christmas Frightmare.
Yeah, the same for me. I mean, that's like
love Frightmare.
Christmas, Halloween, Frightmare. Like that's actually no. I'm sorry, Halloween. Frightmare Christmas for me.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But I get it. Super excited. We're pumped. We're going to be meeting a lot of really great people. Not just celebrities, but the people there as well.
Yeah.
We're going to try to get footage of the convention, of some of the merch, stuff like that. And also just at the end of the day, give our thoughts and feelings out about the con.
Yeah, I think we're gonna try to, I guess, play it by ear a little bit. But I
see
think
how it goes.
The very least, we're gonna, I think, record some stuff each day, and at the end of the day, and kind of a recap. And
we've never done a travel pod, but we're gonna see.
Yeah, we're gonna see how this works.
And hopefully, if you've been to Frightmare, it seems like a nice representation. If you haven't been, like, we already hype that convention up enough, but maybe this pod will help anybody out there who's deciding whether or not to go.
Yeah. Which, I mean, you should, but
you should. You're an idiot if you don't. But, but
yeah. Well, everybody, thanks for joining. We will see you next weekend at Texas Frightmare.
Yeah, we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this episode. If you enjoyed it, hit like and subscribe, and tune in next time to the Fear Review, where the fear is family.